Welcome back to Daytime. You're about to get a sneak peek into the world of family portrait photography with Kirsten McGoey from Trinity Design. Kirsten, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So tell me about Trinity Design.
Well, Trinity Design is a professional photography studio, and what we do is we capture the experience. So it's really important for clients when they're coming in to understand that we're not just going to pose them and have them looking straight at the camera. We're going to try and capture the whole experience, so that emotional connection that you get when mom looks at child and brothers hold each other and things like that.
That's where the magic is, isn't it?
Yes.
When you get those moments, and that's not always easy to capture.
No, and so there's a lot of time invested in getting those moments. And when I first started working, I would capture newborns, family, editorial, whatever came to me. But over time, I realized that families were really my true love, that I love working with the bond that is in that family unit. And I like capturing those special moments that you'll look back on as they get older, because it happens so fast.
And is it tricky to capture those moments in the studio? Do you have to do a lot of planning? So that beautiful shot of a baby where you think, well, that might only take 20 minutes, does not take 20 minutes.
Yes. I always have a backup plan and then a backup plan and another backup plan. So it's really important to be able to get down to the level of the people that you're playing with. And I say playing with because I'm trying to get them to smile and to trust me in a really quick amount of time. So I'm getting down to the ground and making funny noises. I'll put things on my hair. I'll shake rattles, whatever it takes to sort of get that moment and get that trust from the child. And it's important also to get that trust from the parents too, because when they're there, they feel really out of control. You know, it's not the normal environment for them, and they think, oh, my child is doing something that no one else's child had ever done before in a session, and it happens to every single family.
You're so right, because I can remember going for family photography, for a portrait rather, and my daughter would start to cry, and then I start to feel frustrated and think, she doesn't normally do this, and then now you're frustrated and it's not going well, so you ease people out of those emotions.
Yes, it's important that they trust you, because once they trust you, then they feel like you are competent in your job. So my first job is to get that, you know, the communication, the trust going, and then we can sort of step onto it, and that takes a lot of time. So I don't book anyone in my studio for less than an hour and a half, and if I need more time than that, then I'm just going to allow for that, because I want to get that experience, capture the experience that is going to make them come back again.
And you're going to show us that live and in action when we come back from the commercial break. You're going to be showing us, because you brought a family and you're going to be doing a portrait of this family live on TV.
Yes.
But before we begin that, tell us what we're looking for in terms of finding the right photographer for us. What do we need to be looking for?
Well, I think it's really important that you make sure they have business insurance. So a good, solid business policy, not just something tacked onto their homeowner's insurance. And that's going to be in the $2 million range to be really effective. And you also want to make sure that they have a good website, social media presence, a contract, and that contract is going to outline for you, what are you buying? When are you going to receive it? What things, because you're going to forget. You might have booked it a month before. You're going to forget what you bought, and you know, because being a parent is hectic. Our life doesn't allow you to slow down anymore.
Right.
So that's really important. I think it's important to find out that what kind of training do they have, what kind of references do they have. Those things will really shape whether or not they're the right photographer for you. And I often tell my clients something very strange. I say, don't hire me unless these things all work for you, and don't hire me if you're going for, let's say, a wedding. I don't do weddings. Don't hire me if you want a newborn doing, you know, newborn poses. Those are not my style of photography. And so by knowing that and being very open and honest, I get bookings for the things that I'm really good at, and I can refer them to other people who do those other things really, really well.
Oh, that's such good advice, because you figured out what your passion is in photography, and you're following that, which makes you an expert in that area.
Yes, and I think it's really important that as an expert, you learn when to say, no, you're not my client. This would be a better partnership if you worked with A, B, or C.
When did you know you had this gift for photography?
Well, I bought my first camera, and I'm sure my mother, whose birthday is today, and she's going to be, I'm not going to give her age, but she's going to be delighted that I'm saying happy birthday to her.
Yay, happy birthday!
I bought my first camera at a yard sale. I believe it was in grade 1. I might get corrected on that one. And I paid $1 for it. I've always been creative. I've always been visual. My training is all in that. And 3 years ago, I started to go pro because people were asking me all the time, can you do this for me? Can you capture the experience for us? And I wanted to do it right with good sound business principles in mind, and capture something, special for them.
Well, I think we are going to capture something special right after the commercial break, and I'm interested to see what is going to happen. More with Kirsten McGoey when we return. Stay with us. Hi everyone, welcome back to Daytime. I'm with Kirsten McGoey of Tristan Design, right?
Trinity
Design. I thought something didn't seem right there. Of Trinity Design, and you're going to be walking us through a family portrait session.
Yes, I am. So we have a lovely family here with us today, and I can introduce you to them if you'd like. So we have Dad, Nigel.
Yes.
And we have Mom, Nicole, and then we have Denver, who is 2, and we have Nova, who is 10 weeks old.
Wow, so this would be a typical family that would want their portrait taken.
Exactly.
They want to capture the moment when their children are still so little.
Exactly. And what we wanted to do was show you all the time and investment that happens in a session so that you can see how we pose them and how we keep them nice and safe. We're talking to them the whole time. So we're going to go through some different points. We're going to talk about communication.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
We're going to talk about safety, and we're going to talk about just time, the time invested in doing this. So we have 4 people here, and I'm just going to move over to the other side so I can show you how I would pose them. So what we're going to do is, you can see here, Denver, he's a little bit smaller.
Yes.
So we want to get him up on a box. We're going to put him right here on this box. Denver, you going to come down? Come on, buddy. All right. And Dad is going to hold on to him. So we're going to bring Dad in here. All right, great, good job. And then we have Mom here holding baby Nova. And we're going to bring Dad's arm right over here so that I can see your hand right there on Mom. Okay, and what I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to create almost that warm hug of a family around them. And I want to make sure while I'm doing that I'm talking to them so they feel assured that I'm there. Because it feels, like I said before, really awkward when you are in the studio. You don't know what's going on. Maybe, the child's maybe not be cooperating. We're really lucky. Denver and Nova are being amazing right now.
I know.
Yeah, so we want to make sure that happens. The other thing I want to do when I'm communicating, and I do a lot of this before the session, is I make sure everyone's okay. So Dad, we talked before, he's not as flexible. So we want to make sure that he's not sitting because it's not comfortable, and that will show on his face. And Mom just had a baby, right? So we just had a baby not too long ago. Was there any complications? Luckily, we've got 2 healthy, happy adults here who don't really have any problems, but I want to make sure that they're nice and safe by communicating to them before the fact. And then I want to also find out what kind of little guy is Denver? Is he gonna really enjoy this, or maybe is he a little camera shy? So I'm going to talk to them about that.
He's adorable.
Yes, he is really cute. So we have everyone posed here, and what we're going to do, Denver, is we're going to have you stand here, and Dad, I'm going to have you. That's perfect. You're holding on right there, and then we're going to just take out. Can we take out her suit? So we're going to take out her soother. There we go. We'll give that to Dad. Dad will just hide it somewhere, and we're going to make sure that everyone has nice, clean lines. Okay. So the next thing that's really important and what we talked about is safety. And I want to make sure that everyone's safe. So you can see that we've got Denver on a nice strong box here to make sure. We've got Dad's hand holding him so that he is not going to fall off of that box. We've got Mom cuddling it looks like Nova's falling asleep actually, cuddling, and everyone is nice and safe. And we want to make sure that while they're in the studio, that experience is incredibly safe for them. I'm going to make sure that all my lighting has sandbags on it so that no one can have anything fall on top of them. So that's the constant communication helps me do the second step, which is promote that idea of safety. And then there's the practical things like
yeah, and you know what? Those are things sometimes you never even think of, and especially when you have the little ones. You don't know if they start to run away and pull on that.
You can see Denver there. He's a typical 2-year-old. He wants to get really involved with life. He doesn't want to sit still and smile for me. And Nova, she's 10 weeks old. I mean, she has lots on her mind, but probably not a family shoot. So,
and the other thing we were talking about communication, and obviously they're dressed quite similar to make it a really cohesive shot. Yes. Do you ask them what sort of colors they want and have them work on the colors?
Yeah. So we knew today we were coming on the daytime set. We knew we were going to be working on a wall like this, so we wanted to create a nice soft feeling, something where you were going to all the tones are going to work together and feel really nice together. So we did that. We arranged all of their outfits together. I mean, I got really lucky because this was something that we prepared for, so I got to choose stuff from their own closets. But normally I'm doing this over the phone and talking to them, and we're using different things that we found on Pinterest, maybe wardrobe consultants that I could say, hey, this is really cool. This is a nice look for them.
And what do you do when you have cases like this? Because this is live, and so when the baby starts to cry, what do you do?
Well, that brings me to my third point, and that is you need time. Yes. So to book a little one like Nova and her family in a 20-minute slot would just be doing a disservice to the client. We want to make sure there's a lot of time for them to take a break. We might even give her a soother back. Absolutely, guys. Give her a chance to maybe she has to feed again or all the other lovely things that babies do, and give her time. Maybe Denver might need a break, where he might want to play with a toy for a while. So we want to make sure that there is a sense of time built into that. And like I said, with clients, I never book anything less than an hour and a half when I'm doing a full session. But if I have a newborn, I'm going to bump that up to 2.5, 3.5 hours, and that's where the investment comes in hiring a professional, someone that understands that extra time is necessary in order to get the right shots.
So we only have about 30 seconds left. Was there anything else you wanted to say?
Well, I think it's really important that no matter who you choose, and there's amazing photographers in the region, is that you take the time to communicate with them, make sure they're going to keep you nice and safe, and make sure that they take the time to book the right session for you so you get the right style.
That's fabulous. And so after we finish up the show and cut to commercial break, I'm going to let you do the photography pictures, and maybe I can photobomb a couple.
That sounds great.
Up next, Glenn Simpson and the Druid Academy Irish Dancers. Stay with us.